Nissan and Infiniti cars have chassis control system. This is like the traction control, but much wiser, much smarter than it. It uses a bunch of sensors, it applies the brakes automatically, and it controls the engine RPM and some other engine functions when you, for example, you turn. And it helps the stability of your car, it helps the steering of your car. When you see the chassis control system fault, it means one of two things. It means whether the battery is faulty, the 12-volt battery, or there is a problem with one of the components of the chassis control system. The battery is easier. When the engine is off, you may need to check the battery with a multimeter, and it should show something more than 12.6 volts. If it's less than that, it means that the battery is not really healthy, and you may need to at least charge this battery, but in most cases you will need to replace it. Also, when you start the engine and the car is idling, the voltage on the battery terminal should be more than 14 volts because the alternator should start charging your battery. If this doesn't happen, there is a problem with the charging system, with the alternator, with the wires, and with some other components that decide on how to redistribute the voltage from the alternator. But if everything is okay with the voltage, this is the problem with the chassis control system. And the chassis control system is a lot of sensors, a lot of electronic control modules, and you will never guess what actually problem triggers this message until you get the scanner. When you get the OBD2 scanner, you will read the codes, and these codes will hint you at actual problem that triggers the message. Very often this is the ABS sensor on one of the wheels, steering angle sensor, or this may also be the throttle position sensor, because the system, chassis control system, it controls the RPMs of your engine, and exactly through this throttle position sensor, which is quite complicated in Nissan cars. Also, this can be the stuck brake caliper. If one of the rear brake calipers is stuck, the system can't operate, and when it tries to apply the brakes, it will fail and it will throw this chassis control system fault. So what you need to do, you need to get the codes, and not with the simple code reader. You need a good code scanner that is compatible with a Nissan vehicle. And in this case, you may get codes from all kinds of different electronic control modules. And this will give you the chance to get out the code that actually triggers this chassis control system fault. When you see this chassis control system fault and nothing changes in your car's behavior, it actually may be just a glitch, and you may disconnect the battery on your Nissan car for 5 or 7 minutes, let it sit, and then connect the battery back, and the problem may disappear, because by doing this you will reset a lot of control modules in your car and the message may be just reset.